Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Indian Football Casuals. We are back after 3 months. 3 months of non-stop ISL action and non-stop banter amongst clubs. But now it's time to unite for the Indian national team. Team India goes into the AFC Asian Cup, the marquee event for Asian football, after 4 years. And we have had some brilliant results for Team India, especially the Iraq and the Kuwait ones. So we're hoping Team India does well in the Asian Cup. Today we are going to discuss the team, especially the squad has been announced. We are going to go through all the positions. We're going to go look at the matches and we're going to go through the groups as well. So we have a special guest, Aj Ratko, on the New Year's Eve while India is partying. We are going to discuss Indian football, such as life. We have Mr. Nilanjan Datta, the legend, AIFF, former AIFF director of media. He
No,
has lots
no
of stories
legend,
to
by
tell
the
us.
way. No legend, absolutely not. Normal Aam Aadmi, not Aam Aadmi Party. Normal Aam Aadmi. कोई legend नहीं है. Call me the biggest fan of the sport. No, no, no. Please, I
Okay,
do
okay.
interrupt. Don't take me.
Biggest
Disagree. Like,
biggest fan of the sport, and he has been with AIFF for a long time. So he will have many stories and anecdotes to tell us about past Asian Cups as well. Most importantly, the last one. We have Srijon Chaudhary, East Bengal fan from Guwahati, very seasoned sports writer and journalist. And we have Rutvij Joshi from Gujarat, also a sport journalist with Khel Now. And so we will begin. We will go straight to Nilanjan sir, and then go to Srijon. Also, since both of them were in UAE in the last Asian Cup. So, Nilanjan sir, tell us how was the experience? What was the role, especially because there might be some confusion. What was the role in the last Asian Cup, and how was the entire tournament panning out in UAE?
well, first of all, thank you for having me out here. Lovely seeing each one of you. Though I haven't met Srijon, I guess, ever. Joshi and Shayok I have. So,
Hi,
Happy New
sir.
Year to all of you in advance. Happy
Dada,
2024.
we have met. We've met
My,
3, 4 times.
देखो, I am growing
I
old.
think
I
I
am growing old.
I think my beard is confusing it. But yes, we've met. Even
My,
in
my,
UAE we met. In Guwahati we've met. In Kolkata we've met.
I'm growing old. My apologies for that. My apologies for that. Well, 2019, my role, I
No,
wasn't with the team, by the way. With the team, my colleague Shobik Mukhopadhyay was the team media officer for that coveted tournament, the Continental Championship. But yeah, the build-up for the championship was huge. I was in UAE in a different capacity, working with the AFC for the tournament as a tournament media officer. But what stood out for 2019 was the confidence that led each one of us to go into the tournament, be it the players, be it the support staff, be it the people and the administration in the AIFF. I'm not sure about what the administration in the AIFF, how much they are confident about this. And there was a sense of belief amongst all of us. And it started not just prior to the Asian Cup, it started, in fact, way back after when that stint of 12, 13 international matches started. That's when the confidence kind of found its root, and the self belief among the players. It was a revolving door, one player coming after the other. Stephen had built a squad. We had our own opinions. Every entire country had their own opinions, but it was a winning combination. And prior to the tournament, the only thing which I remember was two incidents. One was the kit launch at the Meridian Hotel in Delhi, and we also had the team shoot. And I could sense and gauge the confidence, and the people were just bubbling. There could have been differences in the team, as was reported, but each one of them was united for a cause. Leke aao, bring them on, they are. And people were confident. We are going there for a reason. We are going there for a purpose, and we will be achieving it. There was absolutely no fear amongst anyone, be it a Germanpreet Singh, be it a Sunil Chetri, be it a Gurpreet Sandhu, be it Mr. Gigi George, Gigi Sir, the team physio, Venki Bhai, anyone. Every one of them was super confident and very much aware of their abilities and what kind of means impact the entire Indian football ecosystem could have or make at the Asian level. That's what stood out.
Yes, right.
Brilliant, brilliant. So we have a very nuanced response for Nilanjan sir about how the mood was on the national team. Now we go to Srijon Chaudhary, who was there as a journalist, and he will have a larger point of view how things were in UAE. So Srijon.
Well, I reached UAE just a couple of days before the first game, and like the pre-match press conference, it was evident that Stephen was confident he could pull out a result, even though we had our own differences. We hadn't won a game in the AFC Asian Cup in, I don't know what, 40, 45 years back then. So he sounded confident, which pre-match for us looked to be like, we were talking in the media room and all, and people were like, a point would also be good against Thailand. It's a good start and stuff. And then the game started, and we took the lead early on. I think 20 25 minutes. I think Chetri scored the first goal, and then they equalized. They came back again, but after that, what followed in the second half was probably some of the finest football any team he has played under Stephen Constantine that I have seen. That was like, I was sitting there in the media box and I was like, uh, is this a team coached by Steve? Because like we have this preconceived notions about teams being coached by Stephen Constantine, playing those diagonal long balls and the winger runs in and all. But there back then, that second half showed that this team can play quality football. So that was a historic moment for us. I remember after the game, while I was going, Emirati person, he saw me, and with the I had the India scarf with me. So he was like, I didn't expect India to play like this. If you play like this, you might trouble us in the next game. Next game, beautiful setting, high tempers, good crowd. I had a Japanese journalist beside me, and I think someone from Saudi in the other side. And after a few moments, initially we started really well in that game. Chingan's header from that corner and stuff. That person came to me, a person, Emirati UAE official, and he's telling me, "What kind of India is this? This is not the India that we've accustomed to seeing. You guys are playing good football. How did this happen?" And I was like, "Well, it's a process. It goes on." Well, sadly, that game we couldn't get any points, but we showed good character. And then that heartbreak in Sharjah, 90th minute penalty, and well, and then well, my memory would be that the last question anyone asked Stephen Constantine officially in a press conference as the Indian coach was me, and my question was like, you've spent so much time with these boys, and now you've decided to leave. What is that one message you would give these boys? And well, before he could answer, he broke down. He literally broke down in the stage, and well, so yeah, it was memorable. We showed good character. We showed that we've improved, and like there is areas that need improvement, but yes, there has been progress under that phase. This time around in Qatar, well, Qatar has the experience. Well, UAE was hosted really brilliantly. The people, the organizing committee, the local officials, everyone was very helpful. They were very well organized, every way. And Qatar, I feel, with the experience of hosting the World Cup, will again be a good host nation. Sadly, I can't make it there this time due to personal issues. But yeah, and as for our performance and hopes this time, I feel well, the group is obviously very difficult for us. But then, well, you can only play with the best to get better. If you keep playing lower ranked sides, then well, you won't actually reach the levels we actually aim for.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I need a break of 10 minutes. I'll just be back. Something urgent happened at the home. My dog's not just feeling well. Just allow me 10 minutes to be back. Thank you. Thank you. You can. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. About the last Asian Cup, the game against UAE. Like I had like, exam the next day. Okay, it was boards exam season for us. So I was not supposed to watch the game officially in my house, but I did watch the game in my room, and I sat with no hopes. Okay, like UAE hai, 4-0, 3-0 to hona hi hai. Like what else can happen here? But we in the first 30 minutes we had three chances to score. UAE had none. Ashik was there, Chetri was there, and even Udanta was there, and we had chances to, and we could not score. So I was like, what's happening here? Like, is this India? So, and that tournament itself, as fans, we really did not have much hopes. As Srijon said, we have a notion that defend ही करेंगे, defend करेंगे, counter पे goal मारेंगे. But those three matches we did not defend as we were supposed to defend. We really went out and went for the kill. We did get the kill in the second matches, third matches, but we did show intent, and that was surprising for me that this happening in Coach and his last assignment. Like it's his last tournament, and we are playing like this. So that was that was amazing. So so yeah, Rutvij, we can I think proceed with this year's squad. So the
Yes.
floor is all yours.
So I'll
What do you
tell
want
my
to add?
experience and then we'll proceed for the squad. So basically, 2019, the AFC Championship was a bit new for us in Ahmedabad because I was a teenager back then. We along with couple of others started the screenings and all, started gathering the Indian football fans back then. But and we had a very good response in a city which was not known for football. I mean, people here follow European football, but they hardly follow Indian football in Ahmedabad back then. I'm talking about 2019. So we were three, four guys, and we had organized a screening. And I remember for all these three games, we organized the screening. The first game, we've had very good support, and we won the game. Second game, unfortunately, if I remember, it was not. It was at around 10 p.m. if I'm not mistaken, Indian time. And so because of that there were some issues in Ahmedabad where you had to close down cafes before 12 in Ahmedabad back then, so we couldn't get the screening. And for the third game against where we lost due to Pranay Haldar's tackle, uh, we before that we went to the police and we said like let us watch this game, and let's see one game, and we'll see if the next game is there. We will come again with you and we'll talk about it. सो कुछ भी करके हम लोग गए, पुलिस को मनाया, दो तीन बार धक्के खा के सब कुछ किया. एंड थर्ड गेम के लिए वी वर जस्ट प्रेइंग कि कुछ लास्ट मिनट कुछ ना हो, nothing should happen. And then Pranay Haldar makes that tackle, and then we were abusing Pranay Haldar. And just when we were going out from the cafe to our homes, we come to know that Stephen Constantine has said in the press conference he's leaving, because it wasn't sure that he will leave after the 2019 event, because there was an uncertainty saying that he might be called back if India reaches the quarter final or the round of 16 stages. So probably we thought that he wouldn't resign, but that even before we reach our homes, we got the notification saying that Stephen Constantine has resigned. So that was the experience for us, especially in Ahmedabad, what we could do there, build a community. And then after ARAFC came, and then football started in Ahmedabad. And thereafter, Igor's team match came, and Igor's team match first assignment in India was in Ahmedabad, the Intercontinental Cup. So yes, it was a very personal story of mine, where we worked uh, through various stakeholders, and during Intercontinental Cup, we worked with colleges and schools and made sure that people come for the tournament. So that was the story of 2019. So right now we'll go with the squad. Srijon भाई, आप बताओ squad का क्या बोलना है आपका?
Okay. So, well, obviously, majorly, I don't see surprises there, but there are a few surprises for me. Particularly, like, let's say, wait, I'll just open up the squad list. Uh, so, goalkeepers, chalo, I don't think, we have any it's
Complaints नहीं है, no
complaints
complaints.
here because we all knew that these three would be picked, and yes, obviously Gurpreet is the person that would start likely. uh, but I've seen Igor sort of just experiment with Amrinder in certain games. I hope he doesn't do this time. Personal choice. No hard feelings for Amrinder, but personal choice, because I feel Gurpreet has a better presence in the back. He can lead from the back better than Amrinder. So in that way, it's Gurpreet. In defense, I feel well because Nikhil Pujari is likely to start in the right back position, but I think Ashish Rai could have been a good addition. Well,
Yes.
he could have been a good backup option, but I think he'll prefer Pritam Kotal there. As far as the centre back pairing, it's obviously going to be Mehtab and Sandesh Chingan, or you never know, Bheke could just make the
A
cut,
good
but
start.
depending on how's Igor's mood. But I feel it's usually going to be Mehtab and Sandesh Chingan, or you never know, in the second half when tired legs happen and stuff, we could see Nunga and Bheke come in. Left back is obviously going to be, I think, Akash Mishra, but then again, you never know, depending if Igor sort of wants to be a bit more defensive against Australia, he might start Subhashish Bose. So the left back position is sort of up for grabs, I feel, depending on how the team wants to play. If we really want to attack, I think against, say, like a Syria, we would surely start Akash Mishra. But Uzbekistan and Australia, I don't know. Depending on how Igor wants to see it, he might play Subhashish Bose in that place. Midfielders, well, the biggest surprise inclusion for me in the midfield department is Deepak Tangri. He wasn't playing for so long. Just
Yes.
just made a recent comeback and then directly into the national team. Whereas you have players like Putea, who's performing brilliantly for Odisha FC, not being called up.
Danish
So
Farooq.
Danish Farooq is another player, who's been really doing
Even
well in that.
Falguni is a good shout.
Falguni also,
He's
yes. Given he's been playing so well, uh, barring the recent two games where he had a bit of a dip on form, but still, and Falguni will do what Deepak Tangri does. He'll cover every inch of grass on the field. He'll be go in for those tackles. Maybe for the physical presence, Deepak Tangri was preferred. I don't know what is the case, but like if anyone thinks that say Danish Farooq or Putea is not up to the task physically, then well, they haven't seen them up close. They might look as statured players, but they're no less physically. They'll be there. They'll be there. They'll cover every inch of grass. They'll go there. And as for the starting in the midfield, well, I think we know Thapa is obviously going to start, without doubt. And I think with him, it's likely to be Suresh Singh, Wangjam, but well, Apuya might just be there, and then it depends how does, and Mahesh obviously with his form currently, I think the left side he's owned the left side. The right side, well, it depends on who does Stephen want to play with, and I think it's going to be Sahal
Igor,
because
Igor.
oh sorry Igor, with whom Igor wants to play with, but I feel he might just go with Sahal there,
I
or
don't think
and I also feel that he just might play a single striker with, or even a Changte on the right side, and then Chetri and Sahal up front. So I think that is going to be his side.
right. Nilanjan, your thoughts on the squad?
Well, sorry, I had to be out. Well, prior to the squad, I was listening to all three of you, your personal experiences of the Asian Cup. I want to share one, which was quite unique, by the way. During the Thailand match, not much, During the UAE match, when the match had already kicked off, I was doing a post-match press conference of an earlier kickoff in my stadium at Hazza bin Zayed Stadium in Al Ain. And when I came in, I rushed into the briefing room and immediately looked at the television set. It was still goalless, and the briefing went away. I was having an eye on the on the screen with all attention on the D-match brief. And then when means it's hardly means I missed the first 10-15 minutes, very honestly. And the UAE bosses out there, they kind of pulled the chair for me and said, "Boss, your team is just kind of making us run all around. Will be losing by 2 or 3 goals." I said, "But yeah, we had our chances. Well, you missed the first 10 to 15 minutes." And they gave me a party after, despite having India having lost. They took me out because they felt India should have been the winners. And each one of them said that, how is this India team such a great team? We couldn't keep up the intensity. This was happy. But the next story is extremely tragic because the last match, Group League match, India, Bahrain and UAE versus Thailand, were kicked off simultaneously, and UAE versus Thailand were being played in my venue. And obviously, I was keeping a track of the India versus Bahrain match with full official duty and diligence being done there. And you know what? This UAE versus Thailand match had already ended. And I'd taken the guys for the post-match flash interview, and it was in front of the tunnel, means the players' tunnel, where there was a huge television screen, and Bahrain had got that penalty. And the entire Thailand batch, the coach, the players, the support staff, obviously they had a new coach at the time, the Thai coach. Each one of them was kind of chatting between them, amongst themselves. It has to be a goal. It has to be a goal. And I was the lone Indian out there, standing out there and wishing, come on, Rutvij, save it, or he should be sailing over the bar, keeping fingers closed. And I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the shot. He went and I just closed my eyes, and there was eruption all around, and I understood we conceded. So that was it. We went to the post-match press conference. We were very happy. I remember Potai, who was the team media officer of the Thailand team, coming and kind of patting me at the back. Hard luck, brother. But that's life. That's it. Anyway, coming back to the squad, well, this is an entirely personal opinion. Each one of us may have personal opinions. To me, not many surprises in the squad because this is a 26-member squad. Earlier, all Asian Cups had a 23-member squad. And if you leave aside Rahul KP, Vikram Pratap Singh and Deepak Tangri, I felt those 23 would have kind of selected themselves in the squad. Maybe Udanta, a question mark, people would have said. I don't see never seen Amrinder go out. He had some, may not be in the best of form in recent. And there was a kind of a dilly-dallying over Pritam Kotal. I've been a Pritam Kotal fan myself. So he being in the squad due to his experience, being a bit physical, being a bit versatile, can play at the wing, can also kind of shuffle in between. I do not see him playing as a central defender. But maybe if we play with a 5-man defense, he just goes a bit in. So maybe that's the reason he have gone, experience prevailing. So the 23, to me, wasn't any surprise at all. Among the 26, I've always been a huge fan of both Rahul KP and Vikram Pratap because I've seen them grow from the under 16 years. And both of them have an X factor, which I was trying to explain on my YouTube channel. Very few wingers in India who get into scoring positions do actually score. And if you toss even between Lalianzwala, Changte, Manveer Singh, Mahesh Nauren has been scoring for the national team absolutely fine. There have been very few wingers who have actually the percentage of conversion of them getting into places of scoring. Obviously, people miss. Each and every player misses. Is much more. And they can kind of take 1v1. Rahul KP is a goal scorer. Vikram is a goal scorer. They both love to get into the box, which God has always been insisting. Manveer sometimes at times do not. So I personally would have wanted them in the Indian national team squad long back, especially after the AFC Under-22 in Dubai. Better late than never. So both of them a kind of fringe. Yes, no, yes, no. Rahul maybe yes. Vikram has always been in the squad of probables. Couldn't make it. big test for him. If he at all gets a playing time, I believe he will. And Deepak Tangri was the best player undoubtedly in the AFC under 22. I think the only thing that tilted it in his favor is the absence of Anwar Ali and Jackson Singh. He can play in both the positions, central midfield, obviously, and the central defender. It may be an entirely unpopular opinion. I have always preferred, and this is my personal opinion, I'm not coach. To me, he stays more of a central defender than a central midfielder. That allows him a cushion of someone else also going in for the tackle, not going into the tackles early. He has a kind, I won't say habit, but such players, when they play in the position, do pick up cards because of his physicality, because of his fearless attitude, never say die attitude. Maybe he's just gambled on Deepak Tangri. There could have been other players, as people are very rightly mentioning, owing to their form in the in the Indian Super League. My apologies. The league doesn't have a sponsor, but obviously, I guess Igor is not comfortable with the others as they have not played even a single international minute under his coaching. Maybe that's the reason he has opted for Deepak Tangri. Maybe the others will be getting in a chance after, what do you say, the Asian Cup ends. That's my assessment. But if all this 4.5 years, the nucleus of the squad has stayed the same, I think so. We shouldn't have expected much changes, chopping and changes in the Asian Cup squad. To me, that's the best squad, available squad. Narendra Gehlot stays a bit of a surprise for me. He's a specialist central defender. Could have been there, but yeah, then the coach has ideas and all support to the coach. I won't be criticizing anything or saying anything. My 2 cents.
Yeah, Narendra Gehlot also scored the only goal, the goal against Syria in Ahmedabad, the equalizer just at half time. It was his first or second game back then. I remember because Sandesh was there, Adil was there in that squad amongst the defenders. I don't think there was Salam Ranjan Singh or who's the other defender. I mean, he retired after 2019 and then he said he's not retiring. Kerala defender, I forgot his name. He signed for Gokulam this season.
Anas.
Anas, yes. Anas. So, yes, Narendra was given chance by Igor in Ahmedabad and he rose to the occasion. And to be honest, that if you talk about the Intercontinental Cup, the find of the tournament was back then Amarjit Singh, but unfortunately
He's
he's
playing CFL right now.
he was playing CFL, yes. So that is how it is. So my 2 cents on the squad is the only surprising inclusion for me is Udanta. I mean, I don't understand for players like Jerry Mauming Thanga, who's always been with the probables for last 2-3 years, but he's never made into the final squad. I know he's never made it, but for 2-3 years he's been in the list of probables, but he's never made it. I'm not sure if he's made it to a national camp as well, where Igor takes 35 people and then he takes out 8-9 players for 26. So I don't know. He could have chosen Jerry Mauming Thanga. Parthiv is having a good season. I understand Parthiv is in his debut season. So yeah, you might think that Igor would not want a new guy who's just played 6-7 months of professional football. But for me, going for Rudanta is not a wise option. I would have wanted Jerry Mauming Thanga. Deepak Tangri, as Nilanjan said, that he he has the potential of playing, and because he's played under Igor in under 23 tournament in Dubai, if I'm not mistaken, it was Igor the head coach back then. So that made a case for him, and not for Putia or Danish Farooq or Falguni Singh, who are performing well. well in the ISL this season. So apart from that, I think now Rem Roshan Singh could have made it in place of Preetham, because Preetham was not there for last three international games. He was there in SAF Championship. After that, he was dropped for Kings Cup, for Mardeka Cup, and the World Cup qualifiers. So Preetham for me is a surprising inclusion, given the fact that Ashish Rai and Navram Roshan Singh were given chance in these three windows. None of them started any games for India. None of them. But I felt Igor might have gone with Navram with the season he's having. I know BFC are not having the best of seasons right now, but Navram Roshan Singh probably made a case for himself with. Am I audible?
Yeah, now you are audible.
Okay, yeah. So yes, maybe he could have gone for Navram Roshan Singh, but okay, Preetham Kotal is not a. I mean, he's a very good player. I mean, even Rahul Bheke can play at right back if needed. And even if you look at the squad, there are too many center backs, which may give us a hint that India might play five at the back for at least two games, first two games, where they can play 5-4-1 or 5-3-2. So might as well, probably because Subhashis Bose and Preetham Kotal can play at the back and in the center back pairing in the back three. So I guess Preetham Kotal would have made it because of the back three and back five, which we could expect. We don't know what's happening, but my initial thoughts were this is the squad for 5-3-2 or a defensive. This is a defensive squad, and this is for the defensive line. Right. Thank you.
I think India has to go in the first two games with a very destructive mindset. We cannot go out there playing football, playing passing football. We cannot be creative. Like we have to play to out their weaknesses. We have to not let Australia and Uzbekistan play their natural game. So we have to disrupt the midfield. So I think the central defensive midfield selection by Igor Stimac could have been a bit better. I don't know how much Deepak Tangri will be effective in the middle areas against the big Aussie and Uzbek guys. I think one particular name which we are not discussing, obviously he's a veteran and he has not been in the scene for a while. I think East Bengal Shovik Chakraborty has been playing decently in the current season, and I think he's one such player who does the dirty game, plays the dirty game really good. I think someone like him would have been a good name to be included against the two big sides. Against Syria again, I think we are gonna play good. We are gonna play with the ball again. But in the first two matches, we are gonna go out there and neutralize everything the 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 two sides throw at us. And again, yes, Lalta Thanga Kualring also has been having a great season. I think he would have been a good inclusion as well. But again, we have to trust the coach. And with, as Rutvij said, we have too many center backs. So I think we are gonna go pretty defensive in the first two games. So I'm hoping that stays the case. But in the areas, I think we are gonna struggle. I think that one place where we have to neutralize each and everything thrown at us. So I think that specific area will be a challenge for Team India going in the first two matches. So let's hope what Stimac has under his sleeve.
I feel he's gonna start Anirudh Thapa and Suresh or Apuya, whoever is fitter and more used to that role. And well, their job will be to completely just go out there and keep destroying. I feel he would prefer Thapa because, well, given we get a chance with the ball, Thapa is better with the ball, and so Thapa could create a counter attack for us. Suresh and Apuya, well, we know they'll cover every inch of grass in that middle area. they'll go in for the tackles, but as Shayak said, how effective are we going to be with the big Aussie and the Uzbek guys? Well, we'll only know on the 13th, I guess.
Right. Nilanjan, your thoughts?
Well, obviously, we won't be playing open football at all. That's without any doubt. Especially in the first two matches, and there's a strong chance of the tournament means finishing for us even before it actually starts. But that's a test of an Asian Cup. We cannot be saying and "Arey bhai, hum nahi karenge," because this is the Continental Championship, and if we are to what we miss the point is we are talking about Australia and Uzbekistan. To me, if you ask me, this is the perfect championship or the perfect platform for us to gauge how much in reality Indian football has progressed. First of all, in 2011, we played Australia in the Asian Cup, which was our first qualification after 84. And it was the golden generation of the Socceroos. All of them came directly from, what do you say, the EPL. We had a camp of 1 year, more than a year under Bob Houghton. The talent of that squad was unmatchable, but we were butchered. And had not a Subroto Paul been a Spider-Man on that day, we could have lost 10-0. Eyes closed. From there, Indian football has progressed. We all say we are all hopeful. We are all optimistic. Now, in 2023, 2024, 13 साल बाद हम वही बोले अरे भैया तब क्या आगे बढ़े हैं भाई. I'm being very candid. B is against Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan have always struggled to convert. They are in frantic search of a striker who can convert, and I forget the name of the gentleman who's of the star striker who's missed out. Their midfield prowess, the speed in which they operate is absolutely sublime. But their conversion rate, if you look back at the number of matches and the results which they have in recent years, it's not huge. Now, against Uzbek, we have been doing well at the youth level, under 16 especially, and some of those boys have graduated. Our boys have also graduated. What has been the transition from the 16 to the seniors for them and 16 to the seniors for us is where we need to gauge ourselves. Number two. Number three, Syria, a country which we all know is going through a huge crisis always. Still, they are better footballing nation than us. It was not a full-fledged Syrian side whom we beat in 2007, 2009 in the Nehru Cup, but it was a good, strong Syrian squad. Now, after that, we have moved ahead. Syrian football in comparison, how much? Obviously, Syrian football has been better than us, but if we are still considering Syria as an opponent, as a threat, then what's our dream of going into the World Cup? I'm not taking points away from anyone, please. The Continental Championship, we need to arrive. And if in 2024, we still can't, at a stage where the world has opened for 48 teams in the World Cup, और कब होगा भाई? 2047 पे जाके, 247 पे जाके? No, absolutely not. The advantages are the players are coming, are match fit. Maybe the ISL is not of that standard as international football intensity, obviously, and here we are playing some better teams, but the players have match confidence. The players have been together for 4.5 years under one coach. So if you ask me, that defensive mindset, those are strategic kind of things which one needs to have. Every coach will have. We just need to go and enjoy ourselves and do our best as we can, be it defensive, be it ultra defensive, be it ultra open. भाई हमें इवेंचुअली रिजल्ट चाहिए. मैं उस टाइप का फैन हूं. मैं 1978-79 से भारतीय फुटबॉल फॉलो कर रहा हूं और हर बार वही सिर पीट के मैं घर आता हूं. हमें नहीं आना है भाई साहब, जो कोच है. और दिस इज अगेंस्ट नो वन. This is to all of the players, the coach, the support staff, administrator, and everyone. But I'll still be a supporter. We have not grown ahead. That's been my assessment without dissecting much. I may be totally blatant. People may not agree with me. People may try to explain it to me what is wrong, what is right. अरे भाई साहब कभी तो.
Right. So yes, so we'll have a rival.
I completely agree with what Nilanjan Dada said. I remember 2011 very well. I was in class 12 back then. So yes, it was, well, high hopes, everything. And well, we knew, we knew back then that, right, Australia, we're not going to do anything with them. And what Subrata Paul did was historic. Yeah, I think, as in one of his episodes in Bol Dada Bol, also Nilanjan Dada mentioned, it was the first time an organic media, global media, gave a name tag for an Indian footballer, naming him as Spider-Man. It was not, PR generated or a PR stunt. So that was our level back then. And like, after so many years, if we keep sort of saying the same things, then, well, actually then our progress is, minimal, to say the least, because we're not getting results. Every team is progressing. So, well, it's reality. Reality is hard to digest, but it's reality that our progress has not been what we think it has been. And we can only judge it, as I said before, we can only judge it by playing the best of teams.
Sorry. Today was a pre-match press conference. I wasn't part of it, but I saw a video from 420 grams where Arjun Pandit had a question for Steve Match. Probably everyone here saw the video. I mean, he had some questions to Steve Match saying, would the coach and the federation look eye to eye and say, like, okay, we are not progressing ahead? Would they say it? Obviously, that question wasn't taken to Igor, but it was a question. And if you ask me, Igor would have said very bluntly that we are not going ahead. He's very blunt. So as fans, we want our team to go to the knockout stages at least. But if the head coach says that we are not going, and his statements in the media, in the press meets are such, we say, like, what are we doing for, like, we've been associated with Indian football for last 4 5 years. Srijon and Nilanjanda, as he said, he's from last 40 50 years. So at times what happens is
50 नहीं 40 50 नहीं
40 okay, sorry. Right. So my thing is, भाई अगर वो 40 साल से देख रहे हैं, हम 6 7 साल से देख रहे हैं, and even after so much investment, so much this thing, if we can't just go in and we go in and say, भाई हम तो यहाँ पे खेलने आए हैं, अगर जीतते हैं तो ठीक है, बाकी we'll go to the experience, we'll go for the third round of World Cup qualifiers. So this is something that is very concerning for fans, for us. I mean, if the federation and if the coaching staff believes that we are not going anywhere, then God forbid कि क्या होगा आगे. फिर भी let's look. Yeah. Yeah, Nilanjan, go.
Nilanjan, I feel I know what you're going to say.
No, absolutely not. See, I also have been hearing this gaining experience. What we forget is there have been many members in the team who have already had an experience of playing in the Asian Cup. So Pritam, Shubhashish, Sandesh, Gurpreet, Amrinda was there in the squad. Anirudh Thapa, Udanta himself, Sunil Chhetri. 8 players, as I count. Are there others?
Yes.
Squad is in front of me. No, they're not
Yes,
the others.
Vishal Kent. He was part of the squad in 19.
No, 19. Was he part of the? Maybe yes. I forget. So the experience part is already there. Means people already have an experience. It's not you are taking an under 16 squad to the Asian Cup or an under 19 team to an Asian Cup. And if you remember, Sahal and Manveer were the French players last season. Had Sahal been discovered a couple of months earlier, Stephen would have taken him to the Asian Cup, and even for Manveer. So the experience part does not stay. And we are at a stage where Indian sports in India has been improving like anything. Only when it comes to football, we kind of come out with excuses. The fans accept excuses. The support, the team management gives us excuses. The coach says not happening. भाई आप तो 4.5 साल से इधर आए हो तो आप क्या कर रहे हो यू कैन नॉट बी सेइंग दैट आई डोंट हैव रिसोर्सेज एवरीवन इज अकाउंटेबल आप सभी लोग प्रोफेशनल हो आई एम ए प्रोफेशनल एवरी प्रोफेशनल इज अकाउंटेबल there's such sense of accountability there is but eventually main day पे यदि annual day पे हम जाके वहां पे perform नहीं कर पाए then there's a big question mark. You cannot be at the helm of affairs for 4.5 years. You cannot be the luckiest coach to get 50 over international matches and still accept by there's not much progress. Then what is get going wrong? Can you shy away from each and everything and so I am not accountable, I'm away from this? Absolutely not. So that thing also needs to be asked and questioned by the fans. Very polite and humble admission.
Also, Dada, I would like to add what I feel in the is the difference is prior to 2019 when we went to UAE, the team looked confident. Stephen sounded confident that we will give the fans something to cheer about. But now when I hearing Steamac's approach towards the AFC Asian Cup, it's like he's given up and he's like, our focus now is the FIFA World Cup qualifiers and like this. So this is also disheartening as fans. Then like there's no point of going itself. It seems to play. Then like why are we even going if we've already accepted defeat or something we are going with a mentality that we can't perform? Then there's no point because it's football. Come on, in the end, in that 90 minutes, anything can happen. We've had numerous uh, tales of such things happening, but those tales only happen when the team believes in itself. They believe that yes, we can go there and beat whoever it is on the pitch it is. But the moment you lose that hope, the person in charge of that team, the setup is losing hope, then well, there's no point.
I would love to hear what Shayok says, but yeah, we are not. Please, I need to clarify from all four of us to the entire vast legion of fans. We are not saying that the team does not believe in themselves, but what is being projected, what is being told by the team management, that does not echo much of confidence. It's, I guess, what all of us are trying to say, right? Yeah, just wanted to make that point clear.
I think AIFF and STMAC as a whole are really underestimating what Asian Cup means because, like, for the next 1 month or so, Asian Cup will be the number one sports event for most of the countries participating. Like, the journalists from across Asia will be there, like from east to the west, India and in Qatar itself, Indian diaspora is there. Like, we will have support. So Indian football, even if we don't win matches, we are gonna be the talk of the town. And when we are getting so much PR marketing from FIFA and we are all over news that slipping Jan this, slipping Jan that, and if we lose the first two games with heavy margins, there's gonna be a huge media disaster on an Asian scale because there will be journalists and we will be asked questions that India is supposed to be doing well. What's happening? 4-0, 5-0. These are very likely score lines. So I think we are really underestimating the impact of a big defeat across Asia. Secondly, I really believe that yeah, I think this is the toughest group we could have gotten. Like we got the toughest team from pot two as well, which is rare. We got Uzbekistan, but while there were teams like China and Oman as well. But I think really like if we did schedule the leagues properly prior, and if we did get a friendly, and if SteamAC was ready to not give excuses and really focus on Asian Cup, I think we could have gotten 4 points, and that might have been enough to propel us into the next round as third place team because a win against Syria is not impossible. Yes, they are better than us, quite better than us, but against Syria is a team. That difference between Syria and India can be bridged, okay, in 90 minutes. It's not an impossible gap to bridge. And in the next and in the first two matches, a draw against Uzbekistan is a pipe dream, I know, but if there was intent, I think that could have been achieved somehow. Because if we can draw against Qatar against all odds in Qatar, 3 to 4 years back, I think a 0-0 draw is not impossible. So 4 points is the maximum we could get, and 4 points could have been gotten if AIFF, FSJ, and Steamac himself would have been in proper communication and had the intent. So I think just because we got the toughest group, we should not be giving away these three matches, because it's Asian Cup, it's Asia's equivalent of Euros and Copa America. It's gonna be all over Asia. So I think the attitude we're going in is it's pretty shameful. Like it's football, as Srijon said, anything can happen. Like we might get a draw, 0-0 draw is not impossible against Uzbekistan or Australia. So I think the attitude we're going is pretty shameful, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's hope we get at least 1 point against Syria. And I think a draw looks
I,
I just want to hire one point. I just want to, there was a press meet scheduled after SAF Championship with Sunil Chhetri in July, if I'm not mistaken. Back then, Sunil told the media that he and the team would love to face 2 to 3 top tier sides before taking, because there was a debate, because Rematch wanted a 4 week break before the Asia Cup, right? So there was this big debate back then that Rematch wanted 4 month, 4 week break, and we were talking like who will we be facing before the Asia Cup. So Sunil highlighted that the team wants to face a very good side, probably a Japan or a South Korea or someone, so that they get used to Australia and Uzbekistan. So I don't know what went wrong. I mean, scheduling, as Sayak said, could have been better. We could have, we could have given 2 more weeks to steam match. We don't know. I mean, Indian football can work go till May. That's a very different debate. But we could have given 2 weeks extra, and probably AIFF should have planned friendlies in a better way. I mean, this is very shameful going to a tournament without any friendlies. I've never seen a team going in Euros without friendlies. Never. uh, okay, even for Copa Americas, those countries play North American sides. They play USA, they play Canada, they play Panama, they play Mexico. But as is the only team, I guess, in the entire AFC Asian Cup that will be going without playing any prior friendlies,
Yeah.
and that
Only
is
Tajikistan, Palestine, and India not going with the friendly.
okay. Three
Yeah.
teams.
Let's not
Palestine, we can.
Palestine. They
we
have
know the
we can
reason for
easily,
Palestine.
yeah, we can
Palestine,
easily
we
get a match with
understand.
Tajikistan if we want to.
And like
Yeah.
I feel, okay, the 4 week camp that Igor wanted and everything, I won't get into that, matter of uh, so everyone will have different opinions. What I feel is this gap that we have of, let's say 13 days that we have, we could have played a friendly, say, on the 5th and the 9th. 5th we play a game.
Countries
Nilanjan
are
da,
playing
correct.
even on 7 January. There are friendlies on
Nilanjan da,
7 January as well.
you can
So
correct me if I'm wrong, but like if, like, the I'm talking about the gapping between games. One game in the 5th, friendly game in the 5th, one friendly in the on the 9th, and then we have 4 days before we go and face Australia on the 13th. We still had the time to play friendlies. Yes, the camp necessary, needed, maybe the coach wanted it, coach didn't, like whatever, okay, fine, that's a different topic. But this, I feel, AIFF should really have had arranged friendlies. If not top, maybe a Japan didn't want to play us or a South Korea doesn't want to play us, it's okay, any arrange for any side. I would have even played Afghanistan before going into the game, just to get the team in shape and see how the players are gelling, because everyone is coming from their respective ISL sides, where different tactics and stuff going into the game. We still have the time. It's 31st. We still have the time to arrange friendlies. I hope AIFF, does something, and at least, if not two, I feel we have the time to still play two friendlies. One in the 5th, one on the 9th. Ample amount of gapping. And let's see what the management has.
The countries are playing friendlies till January 8. I saw the fixtures, and like they are playing, and most of them are unofficial friendlies. They won't be even counted as FIFA friendlies. Like most of them are closed door friendlies with 11 substitutions allowed. Like it's very random. You can
It's going,
actually
yeah,
talk to
yeah.
these countries
Most
and
will most
host
most
one.
will be playing closed door.
Yeah, it's not rocket science for AIF. If they want to, they can easily get one nation to agree.
Right. So we'll move to the rival watch right now. So first rival watch would be Australia. So Australia, I mean Australia has majority of squad playing in Europe. They start their camp tomorrow in UAE. They'll have a couple of friendlies before going into the tournament. So even they have players from their own league. They suspended the league a week before us, and even now they'll have the European players at their disposal. So every team is going with intent. Even the top tier teams. We are talking about the Australia, who has a good chance of winning the championship. Who knows? They have a very good squad, and they recently played Argentina, and they gave Argentina the run of their money in Shanghai. If I'm not mistaken, it was in China. I'm not sure if it was in
I think they
Shanghai.
also played England, right?
Yeah, they played England at the Wembley. They lost
Yeah,
1-0.
yeah.
Yes. So even them, uh, those sides are playing friendlies before a tournament like Asian Cup. Then we'll move on to Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan started their preparation on 15th December. So this is 15 days before we start. So they have a full month to prepare themselves. They recently played Kyrgyz Republic and they won 4-1. Although they have Eldor Sharmudov who will be missing out the striker who's playing in England right now, in Italy right now. I don't remember the club he's representing, but he's representing the Serie A club. And after this, they'll play two more friendlies. So I guess they'll play three friendlies before the tournament. And I mean, Sayak is laughing here. So I mean, you guys can understand कि भाई how a footballing nation works. कि कैसे चल रहा है उन लोगों का और अपना देखो इवन सीरिया हैव अ सीरिया हैज अ अर्जेंटाइन coach some Cooper guy with an English surname, but he's in Argentine. They are also playing two friendlies before the tournament, and Syria are only ranked are 8 ranks better than us. We are 99, and those guys are just 91. And I mean, if in the last 2 3 years they haven't done well because in 2017 2018 they qualified for the playoff against Australia which they lost in Sydney. They won the home leg which was played I guess in Saudi Arabia or UAE, but in the second leg in Melbourne they lost it against Australia, which again, Australia went on to play against New Zealand, I believe, and then they qualified for the 2018 World Cup. So Syria also is doing well. Unfortunately for us, we are not doing that great. Srijon, Sayak, your thoughts on how teams are lining up and how we are doing?
I think all the
Sayak, you
three
go
teams,
first.
yeah, all the three teams are pretty serious, unlike us. In fact, all 22 teams are serious except Palestine and India. So I think that's the whole story. I think Syrian the game against Syria could have been a game which we would have won probably if we were pretty serious. Like they are beatable. They are better than us, but they're beatable, as I said. But again, Syria are getting a lot of new players. Like they got three origin players to join them. They got a Swedish top division player who has played in the age group for Sweden national team. He goes by Ahem
Even the
Asif.
Argentine,
Yeah, like
the
they got
guy
few
who
players.
guy
Yeah.
played for San Lorenzo and just
Jalil
signed
Elias.
for Thailand side.
Jalil Elias, yeah. So he's the Argentini midfielder, and they also have got Pablo Sayak, who is from Peru's top division. So they are recruiting like club right now. But yeah, those three players are the origin players. So Syria are pretty serious. Even being the third best side in the group, they are pretty serious, and they don't want to be dependent on finishing third and get sneaking. They do want to, I think, finish top two and get a comfortable place in the knockouts. So Syria, a game which most of Indian football fans would be hoping that we get a result, will not be a cakewalk at all. They are pretty serious, and they will. And and the problem with these fixtures are that we are playing the top two teams at the first place in the first two match days. So we will know if we have any chance remaining on the last day, if at all we have any chance. Unlike the last Asian Cup, we played Thailand first, so we got the game we were supposed to target at the first match day itself. But the game we are supposed to target this time is at the last match day. So like our fate will be decided even before we go to the game where we are supposed to be targeting. So it's pretty bad situation overall. Like nothing is going in favor of us from Asia, from AIFF, from SteamAC, from FSGL. Nothing is in our favor. So I don't know what to hope here. At max, I think we're gonna get 1 point from Syria's game, and we're gonna lose both of them. Australia again, they are coming into the Asian Cup with pretty great friendlies. They played England and Argentina, as Rutvij said, and they are also in decent form. They smashed Bangladesh 7-0. I watched that game completely, and I could see the level of physical difference between a South Asian guy and a Caucasian Australian guy. Like it's massive. It's massive. Like 7-0 won't be the score. I think they are pretty better than Bangladesh. I think 3-4-0 is gonna be the score line at the end of the game. And they also beat New Zealand. They drew with Mexico also. I think in September. So I think they have a pretty decent run. Not going to expect any points from there. I just hope we play with intent and we do not give up in the field like the game off the field. So I think that's what I'm hoping. And again, Uzbekistan as well. Like they beat Kyrgyzstan 4-1. Kyrgyzstan is a side we are supposed to beat. So I think Uzbekistan game won't be as brutal as Australia. But again, not hoping anything there. This is the game we were supposed to get the draw if the situations were pretty different from what it is now. So I think nothing to hope from the first two games. Just the Syrian game is there. Again, that is at the last match day, so I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm really very pessimist about this entire competition. So no hopes from me. I'm just going to enjoy the diversity of countries playing in Asia. That's why I watch football for anyway. So
Well, first match against Australia, I feel if we can replicate the sheer spirit we showed against them in 2011, would be a good showing. Obviously, I won't get into the margin of defeat or something like that. Well, that will happen on the pitch. I just hope our own selves, we believe in ourselves, and we perform to the best of our capabilities. Because let's face it, they're way, way, way above us. They're a team that plays in the round of 16 now in the World Cup, while as we cannot move into the third round qualifications for a World Cup campaign. So, well, there's stark difference there. Against Uzbekistan, well, practically speaking, I don't see us getting a point, but I feel it would be a narrow victory for Uzbekistan. As we know, as Nilanjan Dada mentioned, this they are not a team that defeats teams by heavy margins because of the clinical scoring ability. But well, I don't see us getting a point again there. And then obviously, one thing which Sayak said is that We are playing against Syria in the last game. What I feel is that, you know, it's in a way good. You know, you get the difficult things out of the way and you play Syria with an open mind, which helps you sort of, approach the game in a better way and maybe, secure 3 points against Syria too. We are talking of draws here. I'm being a bit optimistic. I'm telling that, since we've got the 2 games away, we'll obviously be well better prepared than we were against Australia or Uzbekistan, having faced those 2 games. I think against Syria, we really have a chance to win, given we play to our potentials. And, well, it's football. It can happen, but then the seriousness is one factor that's really sort of making me a bit pessimistic. Otherwise, I would have been optimistic that yes, we could beat Syria.
I think one approach Igor can go with in the Syrian game is that the first 2 games are just mere friendlies for us. Australia and Uzbekistan do not exist in Asian Cup. We are playing a friendly against both of them. The Syrian national team game is the only game we're going to play in the Asian Cup. Just get 180 minutes of proper football, 180 minutes of player combination tests, and just go and win the Syrian game. I think that's the approach Streamac might be having. I think that's one approach we can go with.
Nilanjan, your thoughts?
Well, on the surface, obviously, it's not easy, but nothing is easy. Absolutely. Because if you look at Australia, who are the other pot one teams? Japan, Korea Republic, United Arab Emirates, Islamic Republic of Iran, Saudi Arabia. Well, go and choose and pick. We can't. And I believe, if you ask me, people may call me mad. We have a chance, outside chance against Uzbekistan. We'll be having our chances against Uzbek, is what I feel. We need to absorb the pressure, keep it compact against Australia, maybe a 5-man defense, because on the surface, in reality, however big a football fan I may be, and we all are, expecting a result against Australia is not right. Not realistic, is not right. So if we take Uzbekistan very tactically and strategically, we'll have our chances. If we can grab it, that's how matches, underdogs at dark horses, underdogs rather, at the international level play in each and every sports, leave aside football. We will have our chances against Uzbekistan. Mark my words. And it shouldn't be the case that post match, in whichever platform we talk or discuss or tweet or ponder back, we shouldn't be saying वो chance काश यदि आ जाता, because ये सब मैच में एक ही chance आता है. For against the Syria match, it's very very winnable. I People may laugh at me, because therein Igor's strategy and tactics need to come into play. I've seen lot many coaches, work with lot many coaches. The amount of physical bruises, knocks, and the running around which the players would be doing in the first 2 matches against Australia and Uzbekistan would be huge. They would be absolutely tiring them out. So you need to be making some strategic changes in the Syrian match. The same would be the case for Syria, as they will be playing Uzbekistan and Australia the other way around ahead of us. So if we are able to make use of the 26-member squad very, very cunningly, I believe we have a chance against Syria. Because आखिर Syria से 99 हम लोग के just आगे, if we can't win against them, कब जीतेंगे भाई साहब? I believe the players would be motivated. It's only the 5, 6, 7 minutes of the start of the kickoff of the Australia match that they may have butterflies in their stomach. But once it starts, we have looked at, we have gained experience. Let's see. Means had we drawn any other team, we might have even discussed the same. Even if we had drawn Malaysia, हम वही बोलते अरे हो सकता है, but होएगा क्या? So it's futile talking. For me, it would be the same discussion over and over and over and over again. So let's go, enjoy it. This is our chance. This is the Continental Championship, our World Cup. It's not there for the first time to gain experience, and let's hope.
I think the only problem with the draw was that we got the best team from pot 2. I think pot 1 में तो कोई हराना impossible है, any team we pick. Pot 2 में there were teams which we could have beaten, like Syria, like like serious spot three, obviously. Like there were teams like China, Oman, Jordan. Like those teams, India will have a chance, would have a chance. So I think that pot two went really wrong for us. Baki Australia is expected, like if not Australia, Japan will come and they will beat us. I think that was the only problematic thing. So
See, for the Asian Cup qualifiers, the final round when we qualified from Kolkata, we had a very, very easy draw on paper. Very
yeah,
easy draw on paper. For the World Cup qualifiers, we have had a comparatively one of the easiest draws in recent times that I have been following. The draw cannot be good each and every time. So when we
yeah,
get an easy draw, the coach doesn't come and say, Ki, Are, we have got an easy draw. They are tough matches. Hong Kong is a tough team. Cambodia becomes a tough team. So obviously, Australia and Uzbekistan will always be a tough team for us. So we do not talk about that. So it's part of the game. No, but I agree with what you say, Shayo. But that's part and
yeah,
parcel. One thing I need to mention is that what I feel, I'm not sure about this, about the friendlies and the coaching camp duration. The more the time, the better. Absolutely. The more the matches, the better. Absolutely. But when the coach signed on the dotted lines, उनको पता था कि मुझे टाइम नहीं मिलने वाला. आपने साइन किए, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्सटेंड किए, यही जान के कि आपको यही मिलेगा, इससे ज्यादा नहीं मिलेगा. सो अभी क्यों हम लोग को आप बोल रहे हो कि भाई नहीं था? उस समय तो आपने बोले थे हमें मेरी कंडीशन नहीं आएगा तो आई विल लीविंग. सो योर कंडीशन हैज बीन फुलफिल्ड, इसीलिए यू हैव एक्सटेंडेड योर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, राइट? सो अभी क्यों भाई आप बोल रहे हो कि नहीं है? इट्स नॉट दैट इट हैज चेंज्ड आफ्टर आपने साइन किए, पहले से लोगों को पता था. तो अभी ये बोल के कोई फायदा नहीं है भाई साहब. ये मेरी पॉइंट है. मैं हमेशा बहुत स्ट्रेट कट बात करता हूं. लोगों को बोला जाता है बहुत कुछ, एंड ईच वन ऑफ दिस has been done in a discussion among all stakeholders. Among all stakeholders, and the team management is also a stakeholder in these meetings. I do not want to mention anything more. ये पहले भी ऐसे हुआ है, अभी भी इस बार ऐसे हुआ है. So it cannot be that चाय पी के आके मैं रेडी होके शायक के साथ हाँ बोल दिए, रुत्विज के साथ हाँ बोल दिए और सृजन के साथ साथ बोल दिए, और कल जाके मैं बाहर किसी और को बोल दिए, उज्जवल भाई को जो प्रोफेसर कलिंगा चलाते, अरे भाई मैं मेरा तो मुझे ऊपर थोप दिया गया. It can't be that. It has never been likewise. And if I may, had we even got those extra 7 days, जो 21 days का पहले बात किया गया था, there would have been talks कि हमको 1 महीने नहीं मिला, उनको 1.5 महीने कैंप बंद था. Those talks चलता रहेगा. If 4.5 years is not enough to prepare a team, sorry, another 7 days or 15 days wouldn't have mattered. It's as simple as that. 4.5 साल 52, 53 matches we have got. This gentleman has got. आप फिर भी समझा रहे हो हमें टाइम नहीं मिला. कितना चाहिए भाई साहब आपको? स्टीफन कॉन्स्टेंटाइन को देखिए, नहीं मिला. विमको वर्मन रोते गया, नहीं मिला. सैवियो मेडेरा डायरेक्ट खेला. सईद नईमुद्दीन, नईम साहब को तो अरे नईम साहब जाओ, कल मैच है, खेल रहे हैं. जैसे मोहल्ला में हम लोग क्रिकेट खेलते थे, फुटबॉल खेलते थे. तो he's been luckiest from that respect. So he needs to pay us back. Simple.
yeah. That's not for debate at all. Like Stimac has got the most support ever from AIFF almost any other coach in the last in last
So
all the years.
शायद all of you are very sensible. आप लोग बताइए कि यदि 15 दिन एक्स्ट्रा मिलता, बहुत कुछ अंतर होता. तो साढ़े
But
4 साल हम लोग क्या किया? I understand what you say. I totally agree कि हाँ थोड़ी सी होता तो जेलिंग अच्छी हो जाती. बट इज द सेम न्यूक्लियस ऑफ प्लेयर्स जो पिछले 2 साल से खेल रहे हैं. दे नो यू इन एंड आउट. लास्ट टाइम इवन फॉर 2019 वी हैड ओनली 14 or 15 days prior to the championship. उससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं मिला था लोगों को. एंड इट्स नॉट दैट कि वहां पे बहुत कुछ. दे ओनली मॉनिटर्ड ऑन remotely as to how the players were.
yeah, okay. I think we have pretty much covered everything we were supposed to cover, right? And I hope it was a fruitful discussion. And thank you, Nilanjan, for joining us on New Year's Eve. I think hopefully many people are watching us while celebrating New Year's. I don't know. Hopefully the New Year is good for Indian football. We hope that we get some result from Asian Cup. We hope that we go to World Cup qualifiers round three, and we hope Odisha FC goes deep into the AFC Cup as well. We hope India gets what it needs to get in the next year. So happy New Year to everyone watching, and to Nilanjan, Rutvij, and Srijon. I think that is that. I think we will wrap it up for now. And we are well past 1 hour remark. So I think that is that, guys. Thank you for joining, and a happy New Year 2024 to everyone.
Happy New Year to everyone. Stay well and stay blessed. Thank you. God bless everyone.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year,
Thank you,
everyone.
Nilanjan da. Thank you. Hope to see you again back on the show. And Happy New Year to everyone watching. Thank you. Thank you, Sayak. Thank you, Rutvij. Happy New Year.
Thank you, bhai. Thank you, Srijon. Thank you, Nilanjan, and thank you, Sayak. Thank you. Have a
God bless.
very good
God
year.
bless.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
bye, bye.